Hello, very good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Dan Walker and Louise Minchin.
The headlines for you this morning. At the moment, nice to know I get the day off today as well. Charlie's in. You can keep up to date with the changing weather.
Keep you up to date throughout the programme this morning. For the first time in the 92-year history of the Oscars, a foreign language film has won Best Picture.
Yeah, the South Korean film Parasite beat the likes of 1917, the British World War I epic, and Joker. Our correspondent David Willis was one of those who was there.
Let's get a little bit more from our Los Angeles correspondent Sophie Long, who's at the Vanity Fair after party for us this morning. And Parasite really was a surprise to some people, wasn't it? We will do. We can see Colin Patterson just on the right of your shot there. Morning, Colin. Nice to see you. And what I particularly... double act you're going to make. Thank you both very much indeed. And I love everybody sort of waiting patiently in the queue as well. We'll be back for more on that a little bit.
If you're like a AAA list, I'm sure you just get shoved to the front.
Do you think so?
I think you do. There's also there's quite a bit of talk about Eminem, who was singing "Lose Yourself" from 8 Mile, which won the Oscar for Best Song back in 2003, but he didn't turn up to that. So that's a bit, and I think
a bit late. Then.
I think it's probably linked to the fact that there was no host, so people were watching it and thinking, why is he singing a song from 2003? So that was on there, and I think Martin Scorsese fell asleep during that performance. So all sorts of pictures and stories which we'll try and bring you over the course of the morning.
It's just coming up to 14 minutes past 6. A BBC News investigation has uncovered further claims of preventable baby deaths at an NHS trust, which has already been criticised for its maternity services.
4 families say their babies would have survived had East Kent Hospitals Trust provided better care. Well, the government is due to receive 2 reports on the trust today before deciding whether action should be taken. Michael Buchanan has this story.
Funding issues covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it?
Right, we really need to know what's going on with all the weather this morning. Carol's going to keep us right up to date. What's the latest and what can we expect? Morning. Thank you very much. Possibly more problems ahead. Thank you so much.
So a bit of weather watching, a bit of people watching as well today, because our Los Angeles correspondent Sophie Long is on the red carpet at the Vanity Fair after party at the Oscars. And Sophie, we're just watching you, watching a whole series of one for Marriage Story, which stars Scarlett Johansson, and she was wearing £2 million diamond to the Oscars. That's one of the pictures. Some sort of necklacey type thing, I believe.
Wow.
Can't tell you the full details.
Come on. Need more info on that.
I should try and find a bit more out for you. What have you got over there?
That is a great bit. I feel very unglamorous.
In the over 50s.
Yep. Good on her.
She came second in the Fleet Half Marathon, and now she's been selected to run for England in an international.
Let's get us the news, travel and the weather wherever you are. We'll get you one day. I would like to send to the Oscars next year, and it's you. Because you're doing great Oscars watching for us.
You spotted Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, I was going to do a little bit. Kate Beckinsale in a very sparkly. There she is, red dress. Now she's someone we should be. Well, that's. Maybe not. Anyway, no, we can't.
Right, we're going to send you next.
Remember, you can see it because our viewers can't see it.
It's not just going on in my head. No. Sheffield United.
So I did watch your interview earlier with him about wanting to see Brad Pitt. You never know, he might get lucky. Thank you so much, Sophie Long. We'll be back with you a little bit later.
And we'll hear from the director of Parasite, which has won all sorts of awards at the Oscars in a moment. But first, let's find out what's happening with the weather, because huge disruption across the UK over the weekend because of Storm Ciara. Lots of people still suffering this morning. So it's really important to find out what's happening over the next sort of 24, 48 hours. Carol.
Something, hasn't it? Carol, thank you.
Let's talk a little bit more about the Oscars overnight. Pick up some of the main stories with the film critic Beth Webb.
Go through a little bit more about all of that later.
And we'll be back on the chaotic red carpet as well.
It's not even red either. I'm complaining about that.
All right. Okay.
Time now to get the news, the travel and the weather wherever you are. Oh, I love the fact that he really wants to meet Brad Pitt. Well, let's... Sophie, you've been there all morning. How's it going for you? It's slightly confusing, the whole thing, isn't it?
The post.
This is his first Oscar, isn't it, Bernie Taupin?
Yes.
Sophie, thank you very much. He wasn't quite... Well, he was live on BBC Breakfast.
It was.
We'll be back with Sophie a little bit later as well. 16 minutes past 7.
It's one of those hectic mornings, isn't it? But let's bring you up to date with some of the other stories making the news this morning. It's just gone 16 minutes past 7. For the second day running, there's been a record increase in the number of people killed by the coronavirus in China. 97 people died yesterday. That's the total now, up to 908 at the moment.
Meanwhile, a testing aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship docked at Yokohama in Japan has reportedly found 60 more confirmed cases there, bringing the total of diagnosed people on that ship to 130.
Let's speak to our China correspondent and bring you the latest on the coronavirus.